Isipe. We are based in Nairobi. One of the challenges we have had with our cities, especially for us who are doing research on insect, is spillovers, yes, because most of the programs, for instance, biological technologies, you cannot keep off spillovers. You know there's contamination effect, and when you're looking for suitable context that you can apply, you know, like we are talking of counterfactual, you have to look for two contexts that are very similar in terms of agroecological, socioeconomics, all that. It's so difficult to identify those two contexts, and that has been a big challenge for us, and always being asked, you know, we need robust RCTs, but it's very difficult to achieve that. Maybe something I'll discuss with Emily later because of the lunch is this translating evidence into policy, the theory of change. I think you went quite very fast on that, and we will probably benefit more if we had more discussion on that.
About the ethics of this, and also I would say related to the politics of RCTs. And I think that this helps solve the problem about ethics and politics. And I'll tell you why. Because you can roll this out in such a way that's very fair to whoever gets it. So if you are building a program, usually you don't start at 100% scale across the country. Sometimes you do, but most programs start small and get bigger. And the question is, where should you start? And then how should you grow? With RCTs, that allows you to choose in a random, very fair way who gets the program first. So most programs don't have the resources to be completely at scale. And so with RCTs, the way in which the first batch of those participants is selected is done by a computer generating a random number, rather than a politician saying, let's start in my brother's village. Or let's start in the most urban area because I want to be able to travel there and see how it's going even, right? So I think we all see lots of places where different areas get more programs than others. And I think that's one reason that these types of studies got traction. So there's an example of a study on education on cash transfers for education in Mexico called Progresa, which managed to survive different political regimes because there was good evidence to show that it was working and people demanded that program continue. And then the second part about this is how to deal with spillovers, and related to that, I would say, is sample size. I think that when we're thinking about the challenges of RCTs, one challenge is you need to have enough places in order to do the randomization well. So when we were thinking about that map, if you were working in 2 of those villages, or even 10 of those villages on that map, it wouldn't be enough necessarily to do a good RCT. And so in order to design a good RCT, you need to be working in a lot of places. And then if you think that there's spillovers involved, you might need to even spread out the areas in which you're working. And so I think that those are related challenges, and that's one reason that lots of projects have trouble with RCTs, because they're working in 20 villages, and it's hard to do it at the small scale. And so RCTs are kind of designed to answer these large scale questions.